So the World Cup is fast approaching, and one thing that needs to happen before the World Cup is the World Cup predictions. We all do that. We all do that with our friends. We predict who's going to win, who's going to beat the team. Fans of particular teams bash each other that we're going to beat your team and so on. And we like to follow the tradition of all the octopus in predicting different matchups and who's going to win the World Cup at the end of it. So, here are my predictions to who's going to win this Football World Cup. Let's start with the group stages and who's going to qualify into the knockout stages. From Group A, I predict Uruguay to get in the first position, and if Mo Salah hadn't been injured, I would have definitely predicted Egypt like the trend is right now and everyone's doing that. But since Mo Salah is injured, and although Russia has a weak squad, yes, they do have a really big squad, but with the added support of the 12th man, the Russians support Russian fans, I'm predicting Russia to get into the second spot and reach the knockout stages. Yeah. In from Group B, Spain and Portugal. That's not even a doubt in anyone's mind, I don't think. From Group C, I predict France to get in the first position, and since Paulo Guerrero is back in Peru squad, Peru in the second position. Now from Group D here, I'm predicting something different. Although Argentina is going to get into the first position, most people would think Croatia will get in the second position, and if some people are doubting Croatia, they're predicting Nigeria. But I'm a newly turned fan of Iceland, and not newly, 2 years ago with the European Championships. And although I agree with many people that they have already overachieved in getting into the World Cup in the first point, but I'm predicting them to do whatever it takes, play however it takes, and reach the knockout stages of the competition. Yes, Iceland to come in second in Group D against all odds. So before you guys start bashing me, let's move on to Group E. From Group E, Brazil to come in first, and I'll predict the Costa Ricans because they might not have a big famous squad with big players and everything, but they definitely have what it takes. They have the goalkeeper in Keylor Navas and some players which have been consistent for the national team. They have been consistent in Copa Americas and also in the previous World Cups, and I predict, will reach the knockout stages of the competition. Now in Group F, I predict Germany to reach knockout stages of the competition, and with Germany, obviously Mexico will reach the knockout stages in second place. From Group G, the big ones, in the big game of Belgium and England, Belgium will win it and Belgium will top the group, and then England will come into second place. Now, finally, in Group H, I predict underdog group, Colombia being the best team will be the first to qualify, and then Senegal. I back Sadio Mane and I back Senegal to be the only African team to qualify to the knockout stages of the competition. So, in the knockout stages, Spain will play against the host Russia, and that's going to be the end of it for Russia. So, Spain will get into the quarterfinals. Following them to play against Spain will be Argentina, who will have the game against Peru in the bag, and Argentina against Spain will be the quarterfinal clash. Moving on, Colombia versus England clash. I predict Colombia to have an edge over the English side, although they are a good side. They always choke under pressure, and I predict them to choke under pressure again. Nothing suggests they'll do otherwise. So, although it's not that golden generation which choked under pressure, but this English team has inherited quite a few players who make mistakes on certain occasions, and yeah, Harry Kane has not become a big game player yet, unless he does on this stage. I predict Colombia to have the edge over England and reach the quarterfinals. In the final game, Costa Rica against Germany. Germany will beat Costa Rica, although Costa Rica are a good South American team. Germany will beat them. They have just too much strength, and they'll reach in the quarterfinals against Colombia. On the other side of the round of 16 draw in the knockout stages, Uruguay will play against Portugal, and although I feel like Uruguay has a better chance, Cristiano Ronaldo just might make the difference in this big game, and help Portugal move into the quarterfinals. In the game of France against Iceland, the game of two teams with supporters trying their own version of the Viking chant. Although in the Viking chant I predict Iceland to win, but France squad will be just too strong for them and they'll go to play against Portugal in the quarterfinals. In the bottom half, Brazil will win against Mexico to reach the quarterfinals, whereas Belgium will be just too strong for Senegal and it will be Belgium versus Brazil in the quarterfinals. So all the big teams, all the great World Cup playing nations and some new nations which have some great squads, golden generations, are going to reach the quarterfinal stage of the competition in this prediction. Yeah, and hopefully they do because that'll be great to watch, great matchups. So in the matchup which I predicted, France will face off against Uruguay, and this French squad is like no other, and they can brush off a team like Uruguay as well and reach the semi-final stages. In the other quarterfinal, Belgium will face off against Brazil, and although Belgium has attributes, some big players, some quality players on the ball, the likes of De Bruyne, Hazard, and all of them, and big central defenders, midfielders who can dominate possession, and wing backs as well. I'm just predicting Brazil to edge this game. Brazil don't have the attributes that Belgium have, honestly. But Brazil have the players who can make a difference. Neymar might step up, Coutinho might step up. Brazil, I think, have it in them to edge this one and reach semi-final stage for a face-off against France. Then in the other quarterfinal matchups, Spain take on Argentina. Big game, big match, big game for Messi, big game for Spain. Can he pull off something big? Because I don't see anyone in that Argentine squad other than Messi who can beat this Spain squad. But this is the last chance for Argentina. This is the last chance for Messi, and I think he'll pull off something spectacular. And I think he'll help Argentina reach the semi-finals. I think he'll have the number on Spain. Spain maybe have another World Cup. The young talent can develop and help them in the next World Cup maybe. But in this one, that's quarterfinals is the last stage they can reach to, and Argentina reached the semi-finals. In the other game, Colombia face off against Germany, and this German squad, although they lost the recent friendly against Austria, I think. Yeah, they did lose the recent friendly against Austria, but they had rested all the big names, and yeah, if they turn it on, Germany are the best in business. They are the recent World Cup winners, and they'll have the better of Colombia and reach the semi-finals. Two big semi-finals, four of the best teams in the competition: Brazil versus France, Argentina versus Germany. I'm predicting the final, which all of us all around the world want to see. It's the final I hope it doesn't get jinxed. Many have predicted this final, and I want to predict this final as well, and I'm going to. But yeah, I just don't want to jinx it, man. It's going to be a final of a lifetime if it happens. Brazil versus Germany. Brazil have to pull off something spectacular to beat France. France is a great squad right now and a good national team. They are in good rhythm, good form. They are winning games on the trot, and they can upset Brazil. But yeah, Brazil have it in them. This is a good national squad which Brazil have and a good team. If anything, I'm selling them short right now. Brazilian squad, the array of attacking talent that they have, and not just the array of attacking talent, they always have that. They always have the creative players and all of that, players who can make a difference. But this time, even their defense is solid, strong. The likes of David Luiz and all the players, defensive midfielders who make mistakes, have been taken off the squad. Solid players, the likes of all of the players from likes of Marquinhos, Miranda, Thiago Silva, Marcelo, Casemiro, Fernandinho have been brought into the squad to strengthen and solidify their defense and defensive midfield. And I think that will make a huge impact, a huge difference, and that is why Brazil will beat France and reach the final. On the other hand, I predicted Germany already, so I'll tell you how. Although Messi has an array of talent in which he can pull off something spectacular and make it a South American final, but Germany just have an all-round squad, all their bases are covered basically. They have all-round play, and Manuel Neuer is back for Germany, whereas Sergio Romero is injured for Argentina, and that makes a difference. Caballero, although he's good enough to be the number one for Argentina in this World Cup, he's just not that level of goalkeeper. He's a bit eccentric and can be susceptible to a individual error as well, and in this big games such things matter, and that is why, all things considered, I predict Germany to beat Argentina and reach the final. Now, Brazil versus Germany final. Some might go for Brazil, some might go for Germany, however you look at it. I predict Brazil to get their revenge on Germany and win and lift the FIFA World Cup in Russia. I think Neymar will make a difference in the final. I think Brazil will put on the flair, turn it up, turn on the heat, everything they can do. Germany will resort to what they resorted to in the 2014 World Cup, starving Brazil of the football, starving Brazil of the ball. But again, as I emphasized, this Brazilian defense is not the one which was 4 years ago. It's much better. Their goalkeeping has been improved, and everything, all-round play has made me sure that Brazil is going to live this FIFA World Cup. So that's my prediction, Brazil to live FIFA World Cup 2018 in Russia. Tell me your prediction in the comments. Talk with me on what do you think I've got wrong. You can bash me as well. Do subscribe to my channel for more such predictions. I'll be predicting the different lineups as well, and which players are going to miss out in starting 11 and all that stuff. The best FIFA 11 team as well, I'm going to be predicting that, and also the fantasy team. So do stick around for that. Do subscribe to my channel and stick around for more. See you guys.